Thank you for checking out my channel. Welcome. If you haven't seen the last video, please do so you can avoid spoilers. This is your official spoiler warning. Now, as I said that the last one, they're doing a recap. So they're telling everything that I said in the last video about for this. So like, you know, Smoker came on the island. They wanted to capture, I guess, like the Straw Hats, I guess. I guess I didn't know this laboratory existed because it wasn't really a part of the Navy. This is Kiemon I was talking about. Yeah, and he's looking for his son too. I didn't know that they had mentioned that in this thing. Yeah, so he became a member of the Warlords of the Sea. And this is their alliance. So Law is the captain of the Heart Pirates, and that's the alliance that they're forming. And that's Caesar Clown, who ate the gas fruit. And that's the purple smoke. You know how they all got captured? That smoke was the smoke that petrifies you. You see his hands is getting slightly petrified. And that's his son. That's Kiemon's son, and both of them are from the land of Wano, which we're going to see later. And this island right here is Dressrosa. Okay, so now I can explain that Doflamingo was essentially, Caesar was making it for Doflamingo to give to Kaido. So, oh, I guess they, oh yeah, they're talking about their plan to destroy the Smile Factory. And they're telling Doflamingo to step down, but he's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, but I want you to meet me at this island for the trade-off. And I think they're wanting him to quit, so that he can't do all these activities without repercussions, because you know, if you're a member of the Warlords, anything you do is looked over because of the military, because they work for the military. This guy here is a Navy admiral, and he's basically blind, but he can control gravity with his sword. If he cuts you, I don't know if he cuts you if he cuts you with the sheath of his sword, then you'll be affected by his gravity. I don't know how that works. I don't know. And then he was like, okay, yeah, the Straw Hats are my friends, not my subordinates. He's like, okay then, I'm just gonna kill you. And he has the power to summon meteors because he pulls them in by using gravity. So at this point, the Straw Hats split up. So what happens is that most of them, some of them go to Zou, while the others stay and fight Doflamingo. So the people who went to, I'm gonna let you know the groups. The people who stayed in what is it? It's people who stayed in Dressrosa are Luffy, Zoro, and then there is Usopp, and I think Chopper. No. Chopper went with. Let me see. Okay, the people who stay in Dressrosa are Luffy, Zoro, Usopp, Robin, and Frankie. And the ones who go to Zou are Sanji, Chopper, Nami, and Brook. So they all split up to escape Doflamingo, and because if Doflamingo keeps going after the Straw Hats, then that's just bad. So they're trying to split up, but they're causing so much commotion in the city that Doflamingo has to come back. And I really like Zoro's movesets. I don't think I got to play with him the last. I haven't gotten to play with New World Zoro, but I do like his moves. Like, I remember this from the old game. This is Purgatory Onigiri from Pirate Warriors 3, and I don't think they got into hockey in Pirate Warriors 3, but I think they're getting more into hockey in Pirate Warriors 4. But I think some of these are like the same movesets too. And I like how they added the full force burst. And also, you may have noticed that Zoro has one eye closed. No one knows why his eye is closed, but I have a theory. Okay, so I think that Mihawk taught Zoro how to enhance his eye so that he can use, like, so Hawkeye was able to use, like, Hawkeye Mihawk, the guy with the warlord of the sea that he trained with. I think he's able to train someone to learn the Hawkeye move. So I guess when you have like the Hawkeye, I'm assuming you can see like invisible people. So when Zoro goes up against, spoiler alert for if you haven't seen the anime, when Zoro goes up against Shiryu of the Rain, from when he got, so because he has the invisible, he has the fruit that makes him invisible, I think that's how he's going to get the upper hand on him. Jesus, all these enemies are just pouring out. Oh yeah, I think I have to beat the captain, okay. And I also wanted to play as Zoro because I know that further on in the game I won't be able to play as Zoro, because after Dressrosa, the Whole Cake Island arc, they all split up again, but they split up into like 3 groups, I think. I don't know if it's 3 or 2 groups, but they all split up. So in the Dressrosa arc, the alliances that are made are the Totas. The Totas are small, like little fairy type creatures that they're enslaved and they work in the Smile Factory. Now, I don't think I mentioned this, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you a little bit about Doflamingo and how he got in charge of this big island. So, the family that ruled over this land was the family of King Riku III. So he was able to rule over the land. When Doflamingo and his posse came up there and said, "We want this island," he was like, "No, you're not getting it." And then he's like, "Oh, okay then." Doflamingo has the string fruit, and he has the power to basically control people's movement. He can control people like puppets. He can send strings down to like move your arms, your legs. He can what can he do? He can take his strings, make them sharp, and make them like slice limbs. And you can't really see them coming unless he uses like his multicolored string or his 16 holy god thread bullets. But other than that, you can't really see his strings. So he was able to manipulate. This is really smart and evil at the same time. He was able to manipulate King Riku to kill all his people and his subjects. And while he was on his quote-unquote rampage, Doflamingo came in and he basically almost killed him, and threw him in prison and enslaved him. And everyone saw Doflamingo as this big hero, but Doflamingo was the one who controlled King Riku. King Riku, and he was the one who did all this in the first place. So he's actually the real villain, but no one is understanding him. No one understands King Riku, so they throw him in prison, and they're like, oh, King Riku sucks because he did all this stuff. So Doflamingo came into power, and I think he was in power for about either it's 20 years or 8 years, one of those two. But there are a lot of toys around here because one of Doflamingo's pirates, or one of Doflamingo's family members, the quote-unquote family members, is named Sugar. Sugar is about a woman who is about 30, but she looks like she's about 9 or 10. She has the ability to, if she touches you, she's able to turn you into a toy, and whoever gets touched by her and turned into a toy will have all their memories. Well, not all their memories, but everyone's memories of them will be erased. So it's basically, imagine if this person touched you, you turn into like a toy robot, and everyone forgot you existed. So it's like no one went and looked for you. So basically, when Doflamingo wants somebody gone, he can turn somebody into a toy, and no one would know this person is gone because no one knows this person exists anymore. Which is pretty evil. And the only way to beat this devil fruit is to make the user fall unconscious, because the user has to be conscious when she's doing it. So Doflamingo was, he was a part of a royal family, not just any royal family. He's basically the son of a celestial dragon, which makes in turn him a celestial dragon. So he lost his status because his father wanted to live on the land like humans do, but then the people in the Holy Land, which is called Mary Joy, people in the homeland of Mary Joy was like, oh, he wants to live down there with all those peasants and poor people. So then Homing was that's Don Quixote Homing. He was like, yeah, I want a simple life. And then Doflamingo, he was one of those little rich little kids who was like, hey, where are the servants? Where are the people who are wanting to bow to me? And he's like, we don't have that anymore. He's like one of those kids who was raised in a rich household and expect everything to be handed to him. So Doflamingo and his family live on the land, and everyone finds out that there's a celestial dragon in the area. So Doflamingo's dad wasn't really a celestial dragon, but then everyone thought he was a celestial dragon and wanted to kill him. To put this into perspective, let's say that there was a cop, right? There was a cop, a dirty cop, who he was found out, he was thrown in prison. Everyone in that prison was basically people he put in there. So how would those inmates feel towards that cop? They'll want to beat him up, right? Like badly. That's basically this situation. But Doflamingo's dad wasn't really a bad person. He just wanted to live on the land with a lot of the humans, or a lot of the normal people. But the people were like, oh, all celestial dragons are bad, let's stone them. So every one of Doflamingo's family members got killed, with the exception of his brother, Corazon. who has a devil fruit to make anything in the area mute. Not mute, basically, but it's a barrier. He can make a soundproof barrier. That's it. He can make a soundproof barrier. What else? What else that they won't explain, or they passed up? I think that's it. Oh, let me go ahead and mention the 4 people who are... Is it 4? I might be missing one, but there's 4 people who are below Doflamingo. That's like a part of his family. So there's Pika. You're gonna see Pika later. Pika is like a... I'll explain him later. There's Pika, Diamante, Treble. I'm gonna talk about Treble because we don't see him here. Treble, and there's one more, but that person's escaping me. That person's escaping me. Yeah. Let me see. Let me think. Okay, so the last member is kind of different because there's Pika, there's Diamante, there's Treble, and then there was Corazon, Doflamingo's brother. He died because Doflamingo killed him for being weak, I guess. His position was replaced by Virgo. But Virgo was deceased because Law had killed him back at Punk Hazard. So that seat's unoccupied. Now, since Treble doesn't make an appearance in this episode, I don't think, I'm going to explain a little bit about him. So you know when I told you about the 3 types of devil fruit, Paramecia, Logia, and Zohan? They're, and you know when I told you that the Logia fruit and the Paramecian fruit, I think it's Paramecian. The Paramecian and the Logia fruit are a little bit different because of what they can do. Treble has the power to control mucus. He can create mucus and use it as like a sticky explosive adhesive. So the way that Treble moves around and the way that he carries himself, it makes it seem like he is a Logia user, but he's not. Which is funny because Treble is actually a really, really skinny man in a huge jacket of snot. So, Luffy is basically, if Luffy were to shoot his fist through his chest, it would miss. And he would be like, oh, I'm a Logia user because see, your punch is going right through me. Well, what he does is Treble moves his body in his coat of snot. So it seems like, oh, it's just going through him, but he's actually moving his body out the way. You can't really see his body move because his whole body is covered in snot. So, yeah. And which was really weird when he was found out. But yeah, he's actually a really skinny man who is covered in snot, basically. He was the one who had found, or he was the one who raised Doflamingo, because when Doflamingo was basically homeless, he found Doflamingo, raised Doflamingo, and gave him a gun and the string fruit to manipulate people with. So they basically raised him to be in like the family or whatever. Now this person here, that's Pika. Pika is known as a stone assimilation human. Now he is also not Logia. Some people think, oh, he is able to control stones. He's made out of stones, so he must be a Logia user, but he's not. He's a He's a Paramecia user. So He is not made of stone. He's able to assimilate stones around him. He can go inside of the earth and possess the earth and assimilate stones around him. So it may seem like he's made up of earth, but he's not. He's just assimilate earth around his body. He can't produce earth. So, but when Diamante comes, the third one, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about his power, because his power is hella stupid. But let me see. Virgo. I don't think I really mentioned a lot about Virgo. But Virgo is basically, he doesn't have a devil fruit power, but he's basically a devil fruit user. No, he's not a devil fruit user. He's a person who is extremely gifted with hockey. He carries a big bamboo stick. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the video a little bit now that I've caught you up with a lot of this stuff. This is Cavendish, hating ass. Basically his story is he doesn't like Straw Hat Luffy or any of the other rookies, because he was basically the most popular rookie until Luffy and the Worst Generation came along. Now Luffy's dressed up as this soldier because he found out that his brother's devil fruit, the flame fruit, is being like that people have to be in the ring and fight for it to get it. So he wants to win that devil fruit so he can have Ace's legacy. He doesn't want to eat it, he just wants to have it. So no one else can have Ace's power. So basically Cavendish is just jealous. He need to stop hating on Luffy. And in just a moment, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about that. You know that guy at the first moments of this arc, there was a boy. You saw Luffy drinking with his brother and someone else. That someone else is coming in just a moment. I'm gonna explain him later. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you know about him when he comes up. So that's basically Kyros. Kyros is basically a really powerful warrior. No one knows who he is. And if you think about it, this person who's very strong, no one knows who he is. I hope that doesn't relate to him getting turned into a toy. Spoiler alert. I mean, duh. I mean, like, think about it. Oh no, this nigga. No one knows who he is. No one knows where he went, but they know he exists. So, Bellamy comes back. Bellamy's actually wanting to work with Doflamingo. I'm not saying he's working with him. He wants to work with him. Don't ask why they call him the hyena. I don't know that either. But basically, the only reason why Bellamy is even here is because he had a vast amount of cash that he got from Sky Island, so he can earn the respect of Doflamingo. Like, is he even powerful? I mean, he can turn his body into like springs, like, you know, little swirly springs that go on like beds. Those type of springs. So he wanted to be a part of the Don Quixote pirates, but I guess that earned him some respect, but I don't know if that earned him an executive position. Because you do know that the last seat, since Treble and Corazon are both dead, that last seat is empty. So he can become an exec that way. Oh, here he go hating again. And then he's like, Cavendish is like, oh, that's Straw Hat? Huh. I might kill you, because you took my fame. This man sound hella salty. Like, can you hate on me somewhere else, please? Thank you. I really like Luffy's combo. Like, I think, you know, when I said that Luffy can chain together combos and he's really fast, I think all of these jet combinations are making him even faster, which I like. And I don't know why they put me in like one small arena. I mean, that's bad for everybody else, but I don't know why. Oh, but I am about to die, though. Ugh. I'm about to die. It's a good thing I'm not at a really low margin of health where I'm like so close to dying. Oh, and also Luffy knows something called the elephant techniques, which are like elephant gun, elephant gatling. That's basically him turning his body into like hockey. Because when a person's arm or leg or any part of their body turns like black, they're coating themselves in like some sort of hockey. So when Luffy's body is coated in that that hockey, he can inflate his arms and do his elephant gun, elephant gatling, and all that other stuff. I don't know. I don't know why they're always sending me like these small enemies. I mean, it's good for combos, but like if you want to beat me, then just send out more powerful people. I'm also on the hardest difficulty, by the way. That's why I'm taking so much damage. Oh, and just a explanation. Cavendish, the one who's just hating on Luffy for no apparent reason, he has something called, I forget what it's called. I think it's called Habuka. No, Habuka. It's like a demon that lives inside of him, or like an alternate personality. It comes out when he like falls asleep, and it like starts cutting everyone at like blinding speed. So I hope in the anime he learns how to control it, because that would make him really powerful if he knows how to control something like that. That means he has that hidden talent, but he just can't use it. Oh, and I guess he's dead. I like these combos. Oh, look at that. A toy soldier who raised this person who raised her as a kid. And it's like, oh, this toy soldier must have some sort of connection with this girl. I wonder why. Because you know the toys don't have their memories erased. The people do, the toys don't. Which is bad, because if you think about it, that's like the worst. Imagine if you were married and you were turned into a toy, right? Then you had to watch your wife marry somebody else. They have a kid, and then that kid plays with you every day while your wife is out there with someone else, while you're screaming in your head, "I'm alive, I'm not dead, I'm not dead, I'm not dead." But then no one can hear you because it's basically your toy. That's really sad to like erase other people's memories, because you can see how fast people move on. That's why everyone in the city looks so happy with the toys and all those other things, because if you're in a city with people with toys and people, that makes it seem happy, but it's not. While playing this game, one of the things that I've noticed is that this is like a coliseum where you go to die. Why are there tables out here just casually? And another thing, why can they move? Like, there's no reward in hitting them or destroying them, but that's just me. And I think when Luffy uses one of his gears, he inflates a certain part of his body. Like when he does his third gear, he blows into his thumb. But when he's doing, I'm gonna save tall people in this game, I swear. So this is Diamante. Remember when I said his power is like dumb? His power is basically when he cuts something, it gives it flag-like properties. That's hella stupid. Which is stupid, cause he can wave his sword like a flag, but it maintains its solidarity in its metallic state. It just has flag properties. He's talking with Blackbeard right now. We don't even see Blackbeard, what he looks like after the 2 years, until Wano, which is 2 arcs after this. So yeah, Diamante can turn anything he wants into a flag and give it flag-like properties. I mean, I guess no fruit is really dumb. It's how you use it. Because making yourself out of rubber sounds dumb, but Luffy made it work. But I'm guessing if you're able to turn anything into a flag, you can swing it lightly. You can swing that object and you can cut somebody with it. Or I guess like you can't stab anyone with it because it's like you're pushing a flag against them. I don't know. Oh hey, look, there's Bellamy. To me it's dumb. Wow, that's how you feel? That's how you feel? Okay. Alright, that's how you feel? That's how you feel? Wow, where's the loyalty? That betrayal. That's that type of betrayal you can't even like fathom because it's right before your eyes. It's like, oh, Bellamy's on your side. Oh wait, Bellamy's not on your side. Yeah, okay. Did I miss? No, well, I got him a little bit. Yeah, I like how fast he is. Dang, he hasn't touched me yet. If this was an actual match, that would be a perfect. And they basically used Bellamy as a chump because he really wanted to be one of the he wanted to be a part of Doflamingo's crew, and Doflamingo basically just used him, which is also evil. Man, which is why Doflamingo being evil is the reason. That's why he's one of my favorite like villains in One Piece. I don't even know why I'm trying to fight all these other people. That shield, you see like if you look at the middle of the screen, look all the way up at the top, that little red bar with the shield on it, that basically says, I can't take this area. That shield states that no matter how many enemies I beat, or how many big bosses I beat, this area can't be taken, because it's always going to keep spawning more and more people. I also like Gum Gum Storm. What is it? Yeah, Gum Gum Storm, because it like takes people in the air and just like just rushes them. Bah! I'm still trying to fathom why his power is so good. Like, all he can do is turn people and other things into flags. I mean, I'm assuming his power lets the object retain its sharpness, but it can't retain its weight because it's a flag. Also, if you didn't know, Luffy is wearing this costume because he doesn't want anyone to know who he is. Because with a big name like his, people are going to know who this person is. And if someone finds out, oh look, this is Luffy, he's here, then he's going to have more trouble than it's worth. So that's the reason why he wears the costume. Let's see if Diamante is going to use any of his powers. Doesn't seem like it. It seems like I'm just comboing the hell out of him. Well, I'm making quick work of him. Wow. Look, it'll be much worse if I just lock onto him, though. Nope, he didn't use any of his powers. But yeah, his powers suck. His powers are garbage. I'm not saying that because I don't like him. I mean, I don't feel for him, but like, I just think his powers just suck. Like the power to turn things into flags. I'm guessing the devil fruits were made like way back when, before flags were even a thing. So how? Also, the symbol on Bellamy's chest is the insignia of the Doflamingo pirates, the Don Quixote pirates. And this is Bartolomeo. Bartolomeo is a really big fan of Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates. And this guy is the person I was telling you about at the very beginning, where Luffy was sharing sake with Ace. So Luffy has another brother, and this other brother was rumored to have died at sea, but he didn't, basically. That's him right here. And he's just really happy to see his brother. None of them are blood related. They just share sake, and they just call themselves brothers. So this is Sabo, the best friend and brother of Luffy. He's also the chief of staff, meaning he's the second in command to the Revolutionary Pirates, meaning he is directly under Dragon, which is Luffy's father. This is a big coincidence, but it's One Piece, so you can always expect that. So yeah, Luffy thought he was alone because he lost him and he lost Ace. But he may have lost Ace, but Sabo, is still here. He's just working for the Revolutionary Army. Also, Sabo comes from a rich family, and they didn't want him to be a pirate, so he got into an accident